All right, I got the speed dialed in. Who could tell me what my problem was? I'm sure someone saw it on the video when the toner wasn't moving over. This had, I accidentally flipped it up to manual. That's what the problem was. Still not sure. I want to see. Yeah, this Tonearm elevator is still not manually doing its thing. So I'll have to look at that. And it's not fully returning to the base. So I'll have to look at that as well. So speed's done. I confirmed a mostly working auto start, auto return operation. Now I don't remember on this one if, let's see, when this is returned to the base, that screw, I think that screw is adjusted to trip. Right, this little paddle here to make it auto return, but I'm trying to go off memory here. Well, that's kind of the least of my concerns at this particular point in time. Let me see what's going on with this Tonearm elevator. So we've got this is that's for the Tonearm elevator. And if I move that, it's not moving that up. So what happens is pull the lever, right? There's a cog here. It forces this part here to, whoops, that was speed. Forces that to either lower it, right, or push it up. Now, it's not making contact with it right now, so I think it's just an adjustment that needs to be made here. But I'll need to see which adjustment I need to perform to do that. I want to see if it's moving at all. It's not moving at all. It should come up and down like that. So it should come up and down like that, and that's not making contact. So yeah, it's turning that whole thing. So maybe, well, I'm going to mess around with this for a little bit and see what I can figure out. I mean, it's like it's almost frozen in there. So I don't know if it's dry. Maybe it needs to be redamped. Yeah, so let me break away and kind of fiddle fart around with this and see what I can figure out. I may actually have to consult the manual. Whew, goodness. All right, so I got the Tonearm elevator issue ironed out. And I'll show you what I did, but first I'll confirm, just show you that it's working. So you'll see that it'll go up and down. Oh, you really can't probably see it from there. There's up, and then it's slowly dropping down. Again, you probably couldn't really tell, but trust me, it works. Put that down, clip that. So what I did was, this little barrel here, it was frozen, but I just kind of worked that to where I could adjust it to where basically this makes contact with the barrel sooner, right? So when you do this, see how now it's tight? Before it wasn't tight. So here, the arm falls, and here, the arm is pushed up. Right, that's how that works. So that seems to be working fine now as well. The only thing it still won't do is return all the way. It's about a 1/4 inch shy of hitting the Tonearm stand. So I'm going to work on that next and see what's going on with that. I'll have to look at the manual, see if I can make heads or tails of what's supposed to be happening there. So anyway, so I'm going to remove the head shell, flip this over, look at the mechanism, see if I can figure out what's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, and look at that. Because what it's doing is it's coming back to about here, and it's just stopping. And I've lowered this so it's not hitting that Tonearm stand. It's getting to about right there and then stops. So anyway, I'll let you know what I find when I start looking at that. All right, so I figured out the problem of the Tonearm not returning all the way. This is going to be really hard to see. Not really a good angle for it. But see, if you can see that, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here on the piece in question. There we go. All right, so see right there. Trying to do this with the damn camera, and what a pain. Well, and I can't really point and hold this at the same time, so shit. Gosh darn it, what a freaking pain in the butt. All right, so see where that black. Start over. Okay, there's no good way for me to show you this. Right, I don't know if you can see it, but that orangish color right there on the back of that plate, and you're like, I don't know what you're trying to show me, and I can't do it with light and hold this at the same time, but this right here should be a foam pad. That foam pad is missing. It's a 1/4 inch foam pad. I forgot, there were several Pioneer turntables like the PLA, like I think maybe the 45s, 55s, don't quote me on that, 530, they have these little foam pads. They deteriorate, fall off after time. But there should be a little 1/4 inch pad there. So I need to take some weather stripping. Now this is too big, but I need to cut down some weather stripping and put it in there, glue it in there, and then it will return to the base. So where is that? So I had to flip this around. So we're looking at the back of the unit. Right, here's the RCA cables, right, connecting to the Tonearm wires. So it's right there. So if you were looking at it from the front, you'd never even see where that little pad goes. So I need to put a little piece of foam there, and then it should work. All right, so put the foam in there just to show you the Tonearm elevator does work. Now I can push it across to the end of the record, drop it down. It's going to pick it up, and it should return it all the way back. Perfect. So just a little square piece of foam. I actually had to cut this in half, right? So I cut it in half, and then I had to cut that down a little bit, and then just kind of stuck it. This has some pretty good adhesive on it. I've never had them fall off before, but yeah. All right, so the last thing to do on this is to replace the head shell and then test it out. So I've got this Pioneer head shell here. I'm going to go ahead and swap it out for this one. This is it's a decent. I'm not sure. It's a Shure cartridge. I'm not sure if this is a Shure head shell. There's no. It doesn't have a brand or anything on it. The stylus looks to be okay. But I want to say this has been sitting somewhere for like probably 15 years if I remember right. Don't quote me on that either. Alright, so gonna take the old cart, put it in the new head shell, readjust tracking. I did have to remove the extra weight from the Tonearm that was on there. The nice thing about this is that it's color coded, right? So for those that don't know, red is right, let's say right positive. Red is right positive, green is right negative, white is left positive, and blue is left negative. Right? This one's color coded, so you just put the wires in the right spot according to their color. And I have a really small set of needle nose pliers that I typically will use for this, but these will work okay, I suppose. So mechanically this is okay. Again, you know, these are decent turntables. I've had one. I don't know that I would ever own one again. They're a much more elegant turntables. Again, these are kind of clunky, and when I say clunky, just their operation, the sounds they make when they're cycling, you can just hear a lot of noise. Not necessarily a bad thing, but in terms of sound and being a pretty solid direct drive turntable, I mean, they're solid performers. So, all right, should we keep the gold? I have some silver. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to go with smaller screws. Those won't even fit in the head shell. So I'll put these back with this one. I'm not sure if the customer wants this back or not. I would imagine not, because this is not a high-end head shell. It's one of the jobs I just wanted to get done today, and it has tried to stop me several times. So here's my little bucket of screws here. And I need some pretty long ones, so that one might be long enough. That one's long enough. The tricky part is getting a pair. I mean, all of these have pairs. All of these are mated to another one. It's just they're kind of hard to dig out of here. At least they should all have pairs. Help me up, there's that one. Alright, so I think we have a winner with these. Oh, what kind of goofy setup is this? Oh, there it goes. It's like that screw would not go through there. Oh man, that's like the perfect size. I'm going to cover that because I don't want to damage that stylus with my fat fingers. Could they make this stuff any smaller? Now I will align this with my protractor. I've been using my alignment disc more and more lately, so I may use it on this one. I don't know. It's like, gosh, Hi-Fi News, I think. And it's their analog alignment disc or setup disc. But I've been, like for my personal turntables, I bought that a while ago, and I use that just to make sure that I've got anti-skate kind of dialed in and tracking dialed in, and it'll help you with some of those settings. Usually on these head shells, I line up the screws with the little arm first, and then that kind of gives me a place to go. Gotta clean that off. But now it looks a little more proper with a Pioneer head shell on there. And I'm just going to do a kind of a poor man's alignment or a tracking adjustment on it. So that's about 0. I'm going to set this for 1.5. It's usually I have to look up what a Shure M95 ED. It's probably more like 1 1/4. So I'll just back it off to 1 1/4. And next is going to be the sound test. I'm not going to do the sound test on camera unless I find something wrong. So at this point, it's just going to be me trying to clean up the dust cover a little bit, maybe trying to clean a little bit of gunk off of here. I mean, it's not really in that bad a shape, you know, get rid of some of this residue off here. So it'll be those types of things that I will finish up on this turntable. So really this one's, I mean, I'm going to consider this one kind of done at this point, assuming I get good sound. So I'm going to leave it here. If I come back, right, that means that there was something wrong with the sound. So for now, I'm going to sign off and say that if you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch y'all in the next video.